Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this price ladder analysis stream. Today I'm going to be going through two order flow setups in one. So today we're going to take a look at two separate order flow patterns and then see how they kind of played out within the same sort of 10-15 minute range. So let's just take a look at what happened on that day. We're actually looking at a contract that we don't usually go through on a daily basis, or at least on these order flow streams that we do on Tuesdays. But I've had a few people on my Twitter say, okay, can you please take a look at oil? We haven't really done much of that on these streams, so we're actually going through oil. And for those of you that trade futures, you know that the contract code is CL, and we're looking at February 2016. So this happened obviously 4 or 5 months ago. It took place in January actually, and I've got this, obviously look back in my big order flow journal that I just jot down order flow setups I see every day in the market, and I just haven't gotten the chance to go back and look at this oil setup. So we're going to take a look at that now, and hopefully we can ascertain what little nuances in the order flow we can see in these two different setups, and how we can sort of replicate that in the future when we see it again, how we can trade it again. So let's get that replay server started up. We're going to be taking a look, obviously, as always, on our ladder being right over here. So this is the ladder we're taking a look. You see CL Feb 16. My clip is certainly is set now to 3 lots. Obviously I don't ever clip that much in the oil anyway. It's probably higher than I usually clip. I'm only doing ones and twos, to be honest with you. But we'll set it at 3. It's always good to have 3 clips, at least 3, because then you can sort of scale out of your positions as and when you'd like to go along. So just give it a few seconds. We're trying to get that loaded up, which we just saw now. And as you can see, we're trading 30.62 bid and offered. That's currently what we're trading right now. It should speed up a little bit more now. There we go. Speeding up just a little bit more now. Okay, so we're trading 30.63s. Overall size in the book seems fairly liquid. You can see an 80 lot just sitting there at 60s, a 26 lot here, 30 lot, 30 lot. Overall average liquidity probably between 25 and 30 lots. We've got just a slightly bigger bid there sitting at 60s. We'll see how that kind of manifests. We're trying to make our way up to the 66, 67 region now. You can see trying to lift these offers. It's coming into these 16s, and there you go. Just at 68s here, we've seen 18 lots just reload or absorb, and then we've come off 2 ticks, which is not much, but we did see those 18 lots trade out at 68. So just pay attention to these 68s now, guys. We've got 28 lots, 30 lots sitting at 68. Let's see if we get back up there, whether those sellers want to hold that price again if the buyers try and test them. So we're trying to trade those 67s out now. Just traded that out with 1 lot, 26 lots traded there, reloads immediately. So what we're going to do here is actually we're going to offer 67s and 68s. Hopefully if they trade out again, they'll reload, and that's what we just got. We got a reload at 67s, came offered once, back up to 68s, 24 lots traded through 68s again, and it just cannot go bid at that price. That's showing us an indication that these sellers are overpowering the buyers at this price. Notice, you could see every time we go bid, we try and go bid at 68s, try and take a bid, the offers immediate reload. There you go, another 17 contracts reloading there at 68s. And now if we can start overpowering these buyers here just at 66s and 65s, which is really where they're holding the market up and having a bit of a floor. We've just gone offered there. You can see we might get a small little flush to the downside now. There you go, down to 64s, 63s. You still have that bigger bid there at 60s. So what we're going to try and do is actually scale out of our position at 60s, because there's a big order there. You don't really want to play, you don't want to play with your chances there. It could be front run, and then we might see a bit of a bid up. We've actually taken that order out, but it seems that we're having a little bit of trouble here at 59s. We've just gone through those 60s, so we're holding below that area. And anyone that's probably held that price or tried to buy that price ahead of it might need to puke here. And now we've got a big order sitting here at 55s. Notice how big this order here, guys. I'm willing to now cut and reverse from 3 lots short to 6 lots long. I've been filled on my 3 lots, so now I'm flat in the market, but I still have that 6 lot resting there, just ahead of those 55s. Let's see if we can get filled. Just got filled on a 1 lot, really unlucky here. Try and take that 1 lot out. We still got 5 lots sitting there, just ahead of those 55s. Let's see if we can try and get a fill. Not quite getting filled here. Just gotten filled. We'll try and play some of these contracts out. And notice now we're just going offered through that price. You don't want to have too much risk on this. And as soon as the market goes through that area, you really don't want to take too much risk. So I was already having my 4 lot clip ready just in case that market started to move really quickly through that price. I took about a 1 or 2 tick risk on that. But traditionally, you don't want to take more than that sort of risk. That big front run that we saw at 55s actually got taken out. And really what you should be doing is hitting market, just straight up market. I took the 1 or 2 tick risk because I saw there was a bit of fluctuation in the market. The market was having a bit of a struggle to get through that price. But overall, as you guys could see in that setup there was 2 order flow patterns. Now, as we know, we can define those order flow patterns. The first one that we saw was very clearly an absorption pattern. So we had a very clear absorption pattern. The market made its way up to the price at 68s. This is our price at 68s. And every time the market tried to go bid at this price, the market kept reloading here. So the price at 68s kept reloading. We saw the first reload of about 16 contracts, if I remember correctly, came down a couple of ticks. We went right back up to that price, reloaded another 26 contracts, came down a few ticks, came right back up to that price again, another 17 odd contracts, and we could not trade. If we traded at all, let me see if we actually traded 69s. Go on the volume profile. We traded 9 lots of 69s, so we couldn't actually go bid 69s at all. In fact, we went bid 68s, traded 69s, but immediately went offered 68s. So that's the nature of a reload, guys. That's essentially what we're looking for if you're looking for a potential absorption fade. So we had the move up, you're fading that move up, and you're looking for, a few ticks as we start coming off again. So we did see, as there was a reloader there at 68s, then we saw the market get through that little confidence level. So there's a tiny little confidence level here at around 66s, 65s, where they were kind of holding the market up. When the market then went offered through that price, we saw a small swift flush through that area, and we tested those 60s, which, as we know, at those 60s we saw a slightly bigger bid there. So we saw a bigger bid. That bigger bid got taken out, and then we eventually tested. So we eventually tested down towards the level we just spoke about, which was those 55s, where we saw about, I believe, if I look, was about 130 contracts. So again, we saw 130 contracts sitting there. We were a little bit unlucky with what we had bid there. It all took place fairly quickly, and obviously I was trying to explain it and execute at the same time. Usually when you're trading these sort of patterns, you're focused. Maybe if I'd seen that I wasn't getting filled, I would have tried and hit at 57s instead of just sitting there at 56s. But there was a front run there at 55s. If you were trying to bid there at 56s, where we saw a swift little scalp to the upside. Eventually we came back down. We started testing back down towards it, and we came through it, then eventually moving back up again. But overall, on these sorts of trades, when you're trying to trade that front run, your risk is extra tight. I was probably a little bit naughty in the fact that I didn't get out as soon as that went offered through that big bid. However, we didn't take much risk on it. If anything, I was going to take 2 to 3 ticks risk. Obviously, you're trading in oil as opposed to the contracts that we usually trade, like the Bund or the Euro stocks, where 2 to 3 ticks is on a front run is actually quite a bit of risk. In the oil, you have to remember, on a good front run, you could be obtaining up to 5, maybe 10 ticks on a really good front run. When you've got a big order, maybe sometimes 3, 4, 500 lots. I've seen it up to 1,500 lots. I think it was even somewhere around these days in January, we saw a massive 1,500 lots sitting on the bid in oil, and that, that drove the market quite a bit higher. So you can take a little bit more risk on these, but do remember, a lot of traders are taking these trades at the same time. Everyone can see that large bid or large offer and will trade it. So if something goes wrong, you've got to be quicker than everyone else in getting out. That's the key point here. Do not wait, and do not be complacent, because if you are complacent, you'll be the last one out the door and you'll pay the highest price. So yeah, those were our two patterns. So as we said, the absorption pattern, and in here we saw our front run pattern. So those are our two order flow patterns that I wanted to go through with you guys today. If you guys have any sort of comments, anything you want to go through, if there's any other setups that you believe would warrant a stream, or something that I'd be willing to go through on one of these streams, just get in touch with me at MVS_Futex Live is my Twitter handle. I get loads of guys just asking me to do a few handles. There's a few things that I didn't quite get to this week. A couple of guys asked me to do something in the DAX. I'm going to try and take a look at those. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you guys. And if you have anything else in any other market, if it's something that I do trade, I'll do it. If it's something I don't trade, I might consult with a trader on the floor that actually does focus on that market, and then maybe take a look at it. But otherwise, I'm open to your ideas, guys. So just hit me up whenever you want. Anyway, that's me for today. Thank you guys for listening in to this price ladder analysis stream. Take care and good luck for the rest of the trading week. Bye-bye for now.